We look up at the stars and assume the universe is a permanent, unbreakable fortress of physical laws. But quantum mechanics reveals a terrifying secret. Our entire reality might be resting on a fragile, temporary ledge. All it takes is a single, random quantum fluctuation, a microscopic roll of the cosmic dice to push us over the edge. In that microscopic breach, a tiny bubble of true vacuum is born, a space where our laws of physics simply do not exist. The bubble expands in all directions at the exact speed of light, an invisible, unstoppable wave of absolute universal deletion. Because the deletion moves at the speed of light, we will never see it coming. 1 second we are here, and the next. Because the phase transition propagates at exactly the speed of light, no warning signal can ever outpace our own destruction. Inside the bubble, the Higgs field drops to its true minimum. The fundamental property of mass is instantaneously, permanently rewritten. Without the correct Higgs value, electrons fly away, protons repel each other. Chemistry, biology, and solid matter become impossible. The bubble continues to grow at light speed. It swallows our dead solar system, turning the ashes of Earth into pure, unstructured energy. Nothing can stop it. It ignores gravity. It ignores black holes. It ignores the most advanced alien technology. It just cleans the slate. It will expand forever. A perfect pitch-black sphere growing at the speed of light until it completely consumes the observable universe. To understand this absolute erasure, we must observe the Higgs field, the invisible, cosmic ocean that gives all matter its mass. But inside the true vacuum, this cosmic ocean instantly evaporates. The friction vanishes, and gravity simply ceases to exist. Without mass, there is no solid matter. Planets, moons, and biological life don't explode. They silently, effortlessly unspool into pure light. The boundary of this new reality is an infinitely hot, searing wall of pure energy, incinerating whatever microscopic fragments attempt to resist. But the ultimate horror lies in its velocity. Because it travels exactly as fast as light, it is perfectly, mathematically cloaked by its own speed. An astronomer staring directly at the incoming wave of deletion would see absolutely nothing but a perfectly calm, beautiful, and deceptive night sky. There is no flash of light, no shockwave, no pain. The Earth, and everyone on it, simply ceases to be. The atoms that built our skyscrapers, our oceans, and our bodies instantly lose their ability to bind together. 8 minutes later, the bubble reaches our Sunday. The massive fusion reactor is effortlessly, instantly silenced. The gas giants, Jupiter and Saturn, are swallowed whole, their massive storms and crushing gravity fields mathematically nullified in the dark. The bubble breaches the Oort cloud and enters interstellar space. It is a perfect, growing sphere of absolute nothingness, hungry for the galaxy, and so the delete button is pressed. An unstoppable sphere of nothingness, silently eating the galaxy, one star at a time. The true horror of quantum probability is replication. If the vacuum can decay in one place, it is already decaying everywhere. As the bubbles expand, the glowing cosmic web is eaten alive. The universe becomes a decaying, hollowed-out sponge of absolute nothingness. Eventually, these expanding spheres of absolute nothingness must meet two light-speed walls of deletion, racing toward a catastrophic collision. When they collide, they don't just merge. The differing quantum states clash, creating an infinitely dense, tearing scar in the fabric of the cosmos. This boundary is an infinitely dense ribbon of trapped energy, radiating lethal, hard gamma rays into whatever pockets of the old universe remain. Eventually, the bubbles consume everything. The era of stars, light, and life is permanently overwritten by a cold, sterile, infinite void. Because light takes time to travel, every telescope is a time machine. When we look at the deep universe, we are looking at ghosts. Billions of years ago, near the edge of the observable universe, a single quantum tunneling event may have already occurred. While that silent sphere of deletion expanded at the speed of light, the Earth was slowly, ignorantly taking shape. Right now, at this exact millisecond, you are sitting safely at your computer, drinking coffee, making plans for tomorrow. The light from the sun and the absolute darkness of the true vacuum are running a neck-and-neck race toward your eyes. Until that light hits your retina, you are trapped in a quantum paradox. You are simultaneously perfectly safe and already dead. The stability of our entire reality balances on an incredibly precise, terrifyingly fragile, mathematical knife edge. To push the universe over this ledge requires an unimaginable, concentrated spike of raw energy, a trigger event. Or the spark could come from the death of a primordial black hole. As it evaporates, its temperature approaches absolute infinity. But the most horrifying trigger might not be natural. A highly advanced civilization might accidentally spark the decay themselves. A hyper-advanced Type 3 civilization, attempting to manipulate the vacuum for infinite energy, could accidentally delete their entire supercluster. But even if we build no machines, even without a single spark, the math is unrelenting. Given infinite time, a quantum tunneling event is absolutely guaranteed. But to truly grasp our insignificance, we must zoom out even further. Our entire universe might just be one bubble in a boiling multiverse. Inside each of these bubbles, the Higgs field settled differently. Every single sphere has completely different randomized laws of physics. Most of these random configurations are completely hostile to complex chemistry. The multiverse is largely a dark, sterile graveyard of failed cosmic experiments. We only exist here because our specific bubble happened to roll the exact mathematical numbers required for carbon, water, and stars. But that exact, perfect fine-tuning is exactly what makes our physics metastable. We are a house of cards built in a hurricane. It is not a question of if the bubble will pop. It is simply a question of when, and from which direction, the darkness will come. Somewhere within our own universe, the decay has likely already begun. An invisible wall of nothingness is currently rushing toward us. Because it travels at the cosmic speed limit, the light of the stars it destroys continues to shine in our sky for millions of years. Our most advanced orbital sentinels silently watch the dark, perfectly designed to capture the exact microsecond of our own deletion. The only warning we will ever receive is a sudden, inexplicable absence of data, a perfectly circular hole in the cosmos. By the time the telescope processes the missing light and transmits the warning to Earth, the true vacuum is already right behind it. There will be no time for panic, no time for grief. The realization of the end, and the end itself, are the exact same event. In the milliseconds following Earth's deletion, the wave of nothingness expands outward, effortlessly swallowing the desolate surface of the moon. Inside the bubble, the universe is not merely empty, it is fundamentally broken. The very concepts of dimension, time, and space have been deleted. Unburdened by matter or gravity, the sphere of deletion continues its light-speed expansion, a perfect, growing tumor of non-existence. Even Sagittarius A star, the supermassive black hole anchoring our galaxy, is completely powerless against the rewriting of reality. There is no cure for this cosmological cancer. It will expand forever, an eternal plague of absolute, unfeeling zero. We worry about our legacies, our wars, our futures, but the universe has a delete button, and the finger is always hovering. The end of the universe is not just a mathematical ghost story. It is a physical threshold we are actively, blindly reaching toward. Buried 300 feet beneath the Swiss-French border lies the largest, most powerful machine ever constructed by human hands. Inside this cryogenic ring, we accelerate heavy lead ions to 99.9999%, the speed of light, generating energies unseen since the Big Bang. In the exact center of the Alice detector, these two beams are forced to cross. The resulting collision produces temperatures 100,000 times hotter than the core of the Sun. For a fraction of a millisecond, the local energy density spikes. The invisible Higgs field surrounding the collision shivers violently. The field holds. The plasma cools. We survive another collision, but every time we turn the machine on, we are playing cosmic Russian roulette. But human machines are microscopic compared to the true danger. As the universe expands, it is actively, aggressively cooling down. Think of the false vacuum as a frozen lake. As the ambient temperature drops, the ice doesn't freeze harder. Paradoxically, the quantum ice gets thinner. In this fragile state, the universe doesn't need a massive, artificial collider to spark the decay. Nature already builds the perfect triggers. In the unimaginable heat of that collision, a microscopic, hyperstable droplet of strange matter is forged and ejected into the dark. If that single strangelet touches ordinary matter, it acts as a perfect catalyst, instantly corrupting the atom and fundamentally lowering the local Higgs threshold. With trillions of neutron star collisions happening across infinite space and time, the odds of a single seed triggering the ultimate collapse are an absolute, terrifying 100%. When the mathematical certainty of vacuum decay is finally proven, human ambition suffers an instantaneous, fatal stroke. Every skyscraper, every monument, every legacy we build is suddenly exposed as a fragile, meaningless hologram waiting to be unplugged. In the face of shifting physics, Survival preparations are a joke. You cannot build a bunker to hide from the deletion of mass itself. We cannot even build an early warning system. Any detector we place in deep space will be destroyed at the exact moment it tries to send a signal. All human history, art, and memory are not permanently etched into the universe. They are temporary patterns written in water. So when you look up at the night sky, you are not looking at a peaceful canopy. You are staring down the barrel of a loaded, infinite gun. To comprehend the false vacuum is to live in a state of permanent, paralyzing vertigo. You must smile and breathe, knowing the ground isn't real. We plan for decades, we build monuments for centuries, completely blind to the fact that the universe has not promised us the next millisecond. No amount of prayer, no philosophical acceptance, and no technological shield can negotiate with a changing physical constant. As we sit here, arguing and building, the nearest bubble of absolute nothingness is likely already tearing through the Oort cloud. It swallows the outer gas giants in absolute silence. It rushes toward our sun, bringing the absolute, freezing end of all thermodynamics. The light of our star goes out, but because the wave moves at the speed of light, the Earth remains bathed in a ghost of sunshine for 8 final minutes. For 8 minutes and 20 seconds, the Earth is entirely bathed in a lie. The sun is dead, but the shadows still dance. Trailing exactly 1 millimeter behind that warm sunlight is the true vacuum, an invisible juggernaut surfing the final wave of photons. Somewhere on Earth, someone is watching the most beautiful, vibrant sunset of their life, completely unaware they are admiring a dead star. The 8 minutes are up. The wall hits the extreme outer edge of our atmosphere. The oxygen doesn't burn. It simply unbinds. Looking up from the surface, the sky does not turn black. It instantly transforms into a blinding, physics-breaking barcode of unspooling light. The deletion moves faster than your neurons can fire. It hits your optic nerve, and your brain is erased before it can even process the light. The wave of absolute deletion does not pause to mourn. Minutes later, it effortlessly washes over the rusted, silent deserts of Mars. Even our deepest space probes, carrying the golden records of our existence, are effortlessly overtaken and swallowed into the dark. But what happens inside the bubble? Without the correct Higgs value, the cosmological constant reverses. Dark energy becomes attractive. Everything inside the bubble, the deleted planets, the stars, the empty space itself, collapses into an infinitely dense, microscopic singularity. From the outside, the multiverse simply looks on as another tiny, glowing bubble snaps into pitch black, leaving nothing but an empty scar. Math guarantees it will happen. The only unknown variable left is when, faced with this ultimate, inescapable deadline, the world's greatest supercomputers are pushed to the point of physical melting, desperately searching for a loophole. Even our most fantastical dreams of escape are useless. You cannot build a warp drive fast enough to outrun the destruction of space itself. The terror is not just staring up at the distant stars. The trigger event could happen in the empty space between the atoms of your own body. Every passing millisecond is just another spin of a cosmic roulette wheel. The ball is always bouncing, and the black pocket is always open. We are the universe experiencing itself, and we are the only part of it cursed with the knowledge of how it ends. So, knowing the ground will inevitably fall away, we make the only choice we have left. We enjoy the view while it lasts. Our entire civilization is nothing more than a fragile, microscopic ember glowing in a sprawling, infinitely dark and freezing forest. Even when the true vacuum eventually swallows the Earth, the photons of our history will continue to fly outward, a ghost of humanity traveling the void. But even those escaping photons will eventually hit the expanding black spheres. The universe is a hard drive actively wiping its own memory. Yet, against infinite odds, the bubbles missed us. We are the mathematical anomaly that lived long enough to look into the dark. We stand at the very edge of the cosmic dark. The only thing left to do is watch the horizon and wait for the light to go out. The physics are set. The math is absolute. The delete button has been pressed. Now, we just wait for the screen to go black. The timer hits 0. The boundary strikes. In an instant, the observer and the observed are mathematically unwritten. What was once a vibrant, chaotic solar system is now just an expanding sphere of absolute, unyielding cold. Inside this new reality, there is no matter, no light, no chemistry, just an infinite, freezing grid of completely rewritten mathematics. The bubble expands outward for billions of years, a silent, invisible predator, eventually swallowing the entire Milky Way galaxy. And it doesn't stop. Across the multiverse, an infinite number of these black spheres are expanding, destined to collide. The universe does not hate us, and it does not love us. It is simply a machine, following a cold, mathematical script to its inevitable conclusion. What you have just watched is not a work of science fiction. It is the leading, mathematically proven hypothesis for the end of everything. There is no defense. There is no early warning system. There is only the absolute terrifying luck of the present millisecond. So take a deep breath, look around your room, feel the weight of the air in your lungs. You are standing on a microscopic tightrope, suspended over an infinite, bottomless abyss of absolute nothingness. And the only reason you are still here, breathing, watching this screen, is because the universe simply hasn't gotten around to deleting you yet.